This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Potsy and Tino on the Potsy and Tino Show.
It's the Potsy and Tino Show. Talk the facts and let opinions flow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world. The Road Dogg Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Potchak. That's right, the Potsy and Tino Show. Episode 432, Tino, of the long-standing, almost, but that puts us at almost 8 years worth of doing this show.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, but like you're right. It definitely doesn't, but it like every so often I think about it and I go, well, I only worked with Ward until like 2016, and he gave up doing the show before that. So yeah, it like we've had to have been doing it almost 10 years, it feels like. So but every week we start the show up with a little segment called What's Up With You. So what's been going on, man?
Let's see. Kind of anything exciting.
Nicole buy a car yet?
We're going tomorrow, so she wants to go look at Hondas and Toyota. So I'm going to Hickory this weekend. So she's got drums tonight. I got class Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then I leave Friday. So tomorrow night, though, I'll be able to probably sneak out, so we'll go. And so Honda is closed on Sundays, but Toyota's open. So tomorrow, I think we're going to go to the Honda place and look. And then when I get back Sunday, we'll look at Toyota. And then probably she'll make a decision on Wednesday. So we'll pull the trigger the day before Thanksgiving. So
all right.
That seems like that's the plan. And yeah, so I got a lot going on. So we're doing that, going to Hickory. Next week's Thanksgiving. It's like, it's just craziness.
Yeah, and not to mention last week we got some in-person live time with each other and our buddy Jason and his dad.
Yep, and Sunday I went and saw Jason again because I went and hung out with him. I went to go because we're still church hopping, so I went to Jason's church and then had a pretty good time there. So church hopping. Why? What's up with that? Not church hopping, just church shopping, because the church we were at it's a long story, but we're like not quite your church anymore, huh? Not quite feeling it anymore, and then so we were like, all right, because we did so much. I mean, we were there every Sunday. Then Nicole and I were there every Sunday night doing youth group, and we just got burned out. So we sit back and took a break, but then we were like, then we noticed like nobody called and said, hey, you guys all right? Nobody checked on us. We're like, really, dude? We were there every week, busted our ass for you guys, did whatever.
And then you're gone?
And then we're gone, and nobody can like to see, hey, what's up? Check on us. So just little things like that.
Well, that's one of those things where, yeah, like if my mom stopped showing up at her church, like it would be, I mean, I think it'd be 2 weeks and they'd be asking.
Yeah.
Because, well, then again, my mom, anytime she goes on a trip, she sits there and talks about it for weeks ahead of time. And then when she gets back, she talks about it even more.
That's funny. That's funny. So, yeah, so we're like, so I said, I'll go try Jason's church. And actually, I had a pretty good time. So, I'll go back again when I, check it out again. And then, I'm like the little scouter aunt. So I'll go check it out and say, hey, tell Nicole, let's come check this one out. And then she'll, we'll go from there. So, yeah. And then obviously we're a week away from Thanksgiving. So the plans for that big feast. Yeah, we usually, like we normally do, we'll father-in-law, brother-in-law, my mom, and we'll see, I think a couple more people will come over and just killing the big ass turkey. I'm getting a big ass turkey like I always do, so I can have leftovers because I'm a turkey fiend.
And I think my family's skipping a big turkey this year. My mom normally likes to go to Honey Baked Ham and get like a ham and a turkey and everything from them. Which I gotta admit, like when you get one of those giant turkey breasts that they have that feeds like 15 people, it typically goes pretty well. But I think we're kind of doing like a early Thanksgiving dinner luncheon, I guess. I don't even know because my sister and brother-in-law Shane are flying out of the country that day. So
Where are they going?
I don't remember. But you know them, I mean, like they're probably hitting up 8 different places while they're gone. So so that's what's been going on, huh?
That and my daughter. So my daughter, so she always, Daddy, I got a joke for you. I got a joke for you. And they're always so fucking dumb and they're dad jokes. So she called me the other night. It's like 10, 11 o'clock.
I don't even know what joke this is gonna be, and I'm already like hyping myself up.
So I'm like, dude, she goes, Dad, I got a joke for you. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. She goes, why? I said, because your jokes aren't funny. And so she's like, Dad, but it's not my joke, it's my friend's joke. I'm like, Haley, I swear to you, if this joke ain't funny, I'm hanging up on you. She goes, no, Dad, no, Dad, no, Dad. I'm like, all right. I said, tell me your damn joke. So, Rob, if a blue bird has blue babies, you know, and a red bird has red babies, what kind of bird has no babies?
This kind?
No.
Then I don't know.
A swallow. And see, I said, shut up, Haley, get on my phone. Then I had to laugh. She popped me. That was good. She got me on that one. And it was funny because it wasn't her joke.
So what we're going to talk about our experience with Blood and Guts, but I popped you so hard at that show with one of the jokes that I made about the guy sitting 2 rows ahead of us.
No, I popped you.
No. I popped you with Postmates Malone.
And I popped you with Skid, what I call him, Skid Rock. But we'll get
Yeah, we will get to that. So this past week on Wednesday, before we even left for Greensboro, which we went, you and I actually checked out a burger place out there called Porterhouse Burgers, and
it's pretty good.
And it was pretty good. The only thing that I said that I would have preferred is if they had fresh cut fries, and your tater tots actually look better than my French fries.
Those tater tots look fucking bomb.
I mean, they looked super crispy, so they look like the perfect amount of crisp on the outside of them. But yeah, so we did that. You got one that was, what was the burger you got?
It's pretty much like a Big Mac. I can't think what it was called. It was good as hell though.
God, That's right. It was called like the original or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was good.
Mine was called like the Jamberry, and it had blackberry jam on it and peanut butter.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that adventurous.
It was excellent. Of course, I don't even remember if I finished the thing because it was so much food. Yeah,
you did.
I finished most of the burger.
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we left there and we stopped to get gas and we got stuck behind Santa Claus. Remember that?
I remember you farted outside of the truck, and the song playing on the radio was something about getting gas or something.
No, that was me. That was me because I was out there singing like, "It's getting gassy. It's getting gassy."
But yeah, so obviously we went to Blood and Guts. Before I did that, though, I had a job interview. Still waiting to hear back from them. Didn't expect to hear anything anytime early because they said that I was one of the first people to interview for the job. But it was with my old team, so we talked about it a little bit last week. Kind of interested to see what goes on with that. And then just this past weekend, I started. Obviously, I've been working on Jugular. I'm now about 10 pages fully lettered on it, and about 13 pages drawn. But I've been working on this cover for my buddy Daryl for his new book that he's got coming up, and it's called Code Blasters. And it's about 2 kids that are basically like tech nerds that find themselves getting sucked into like a video game. So
that sounds like an 80s.
It sounds like Captain N the Game Master, right?
Yeah, and you remember Kid Video, that cartoon back in the day where they got sucked into the video?
Yep. Yeah. So I've been working on that. It's not done yet, but I'm getting there. It should be done in the next couple days. I'll be happy. I like how it's coming out. It's just like I've been doing so much of the black and white artwork recently that now that I'm sitting there putting color back into something, I'm like, does this look right? I don't even know. And then other than that, not too much going on. Been binge watching, and I'll go ahead and I'll start this up. Been binge watching Justified again. Did you ever watch Justified? About the Kentucky U.S. Marshal, played by Timothy Oliphant, and it's got Walton Goggins in it as Boyd Crowder, the bad guy. Like, both of them were up for Emmys and everything during it. I literally just watched the episode where there's a guy named Dewey Crow, and remember when they did the Lethal Weapon TV show?
Yep.
Now remember the guy that played Riggs in the first season of it?
Yep.
And then apparently got into a fight with Fox and they fired him.
Yep.
So he's in an episode, right, where he is like a jail nurse, and he breaks out two of the inmates and proceeds to say that he cut out the one guy's kidneys while he was asleep. So he tells him he's got to go get him some money, otherwise he's going to sell the kidneys to some guy in Chicago.
Oh shit.
And you just see this Kentucky redneck just running through town with a gun, sitting there holding up places, trying to get money from everywhere. And it's just hilarious, because finally, Raylan, played by Oliphant, sits there and he goes, Dewey, did you check to see if you could pee? And he's like, Raylan, it's my kidneys, not my dick. And he goes, but Dewey, your kidneys are for pissing.
Oh damn.
And you just see this guy, the light go off. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. Now let me go ahead and try to take a pee. So it's just one of those shows where every time you watch it, you see something a little bit new and different, but then you start noticing all the different actors that have actually been in one or two episodes. So Maggie Lawson from Psych is in this same episode.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and the guy that played Pa Kent in the new Superman is also in these episodes, right? So it's like you just see all these people that you go, oh, I've seen them before. And you go, yeah, and I think they're a pretty good actor. Well, now you see why the show is up for so damn many Emmys, right?
Because they got all the good actors in it.
Because all the good actors and everything else. So Landman started back up. I know last week you were asking me about that. That's the Billy Bob Thornton show. And in the first 5 minutes of the brand new episode, he goes on one of those Billy Bob Thorntonisms where he sits there and explains why breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day, and the company that makes you think that it is Kellogg's. Oh, but it's true. It's true. The whole you know what breakfast stands for, right? Breaking fast, eating something quickly.
Yeah,
that's literally the meaning of the word. And then I don't know if you've watched Welcome to Derry yet, the It TV show on Max, but it has been creepy as fuck. And when I say creepy as fuck, I mean it gets weirder every episode. And the really cool thing about it is that it's tied into, are you ready for this? It's technically tied into The Shining and Shawshank Redemption.
How?
Exactly, right? So the way that it's tied into them is that Stephen King has been writing all of his stories in the same universe all these years. For example, the movie The Running Man that just came out this week.
What's going on?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, I think we're good though. So The Running Man that came out this week, by the way, there's a clown in the original book. You know who the clown is supposed to be in the original book?
Not Pennywise.
It's Pennywise.
Shut up.
So in the new movie, they didn't do that because Paramount made the new movie, and obviously Max has all the, Time Warner has, or Warner Brothers has all the It licensing, so they can't really tie it together like that. So apparently in the new movie, they did have a different person playing, or a different clown, but they could even tie that in still kind of, because in the It movies, they kill Pennywise at the end, and the movies have been out for years now, so I'm not ruining anything there. But they kill him at the end of it, and the new Running Man is supposed to take place in the early future. So Pennywise wouldn't be there, but there could still be some creepiness and other shit going on in Derry, and apparently, like the guy from the Running Man at one point is sent to a safe house in Derry, Maine.
That's weird
and wild as shit, right? So like I was saying, there actually is a character in the Welcome to Derry show that has mental powers. And if you've watched the movie The Shining, there's a couple different people that have the ability to sit there and like use mental powers to kind of figure it. That's why even the sequel, Doctor Sleep, like they had all that stuff going on with it. So the one character in the Welcome to Derry show is actually the military guy who was in The Shining.
Gotcha.
Wild, right?
Yeah, it is wild.
So other than that, I just watched Tracker before we came on the air tonight, and I don't know if you're caught up.
Which one was this week?
That there was 4 kids that decided they wanted to go hiking in the woods, and he got called in for it. It was a pretty boring episode, actually.
I didn't watch it this week then.
I gotta ask you though, your own personal opinion on this. The new assistant, is she gonna end up being like
me and Nicole are like, that bitch is shady. We already she's asking too many fucking questions. Like, she's shady as shit.
Like I just so far she's been too good of an assistant for Reed.
Yeah, way ahead of me and Nicole. Because it's funny, I asked Nicole last week, I'm like, that bitch shady. And Nicole's like, yeah.
Well, and even this week, she doesn't do anything outlandish.
She's asking too many.
But yeah, after getting rid of Velma or whatever her name was, and the other one,
then she showed up, and then it seemed like she even in that interview, it's like she already kind of like knew what she was going to ask. She was too good of an interview, and she knew when to break down, and she knew what strings to pull. And I think she did pass the Randy test.
Oh, yeah. Randy likes her. So my wonder is, did she also
Randy? Because I think Randy ain't thinking with the head on his shoulders either.
Well, right, and that's why I'm wondering if it had been Bobby, would Bobby have thought differently?
Possibly.
So what are you watching?
Randy thinks he's a player from the Himalaya.
So what have you been watching?
That Watson.
Watson got me to tear up again this week, man. Like that show, like the guy with the stuck in syndrome, where like he barely can open his eyes and shit, and yet they got to figure out how to, and then they got Lestrade to sit there and start like reading books to him about bridges because that's what he loves. Dude, I was like, this is wild.
And then the detective lady, I thought she had something for Watson. I'm like, now she can hook up with the dude in the wheelchair who can't talk. That's she said, I like him.
Well, she kind of said she loves that kind of relationship because she knows that it can't end.
Yep.
Because Watson even asked her how many marriages has she had, and she's like 3.
So,
but those. Oh, and I watched Tulsa King, which this week's episode was finally the episode that brought in Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Okay.
And he plays like the greatest hitman of all time, which is funny because, him and Stallone are both like Stallone is my dad's age. So he's like 78. and Samuel L. Jackson ain't no spring chicken.
It's funny he's playing Hitman again because him and Ryan Reynolds and the Hitman's bodyguard.
Hitman's bodyguard, yeah. So, and any movies or anything did you catch this week?
Yeah, so, and I've never watched them, and they've been out forever. I sat down and actually watched Bad Santa 1 and 2. I'd never watched them all the way through, right? So
you're on a Billy Bob Thornton kick.
Yeah, so Matthew was like, because he heard me in the room, he goes, Dad, because he asked me Saturday morning. I'm like, yeah. He goes, what were you watching? Because all I heard was you just laughing. I'm like, it was Bad Santa 1 and 2. That movie, those movies had me about to pee my pants, man.
Those
hysterical. Tony Cox, I always love Tony Cox. He makes me laugh. And the kid, I'm like, dude, I know it's not politically correct, but dude was a couple sandwiches short of a picnic. I think he was short of us.
A couple pancakes short of a stack.
Yeah, and it was like, no, I said sandwiches because that's what he's always trying to make him. You make you some sandwiches? I'm like, he's like, give him the sandwiches. And then, but I forgot, dude, that the chick from Gilmore Girls was in it, the mom from Gilmore Girl, and I didn't realize. I'm like, she was kind of hot. I didn't realize because I used to watch.
Are you kidding? She's still kind of hot.
I used to watch Gilmore Girls with Nicole.
I never did,
and I always thought that she was cute. But that movie, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, there is something about when the budget goes up, like instead of a per episode budget, they can get better makeup people and whatever. But no, she's always been hot. It's funny that you said that because again, I watched Landman this week and watching Billy Bob Thornton sit there and tell his wife Allie Larder, who for a 40-something-year-old woman is just smoking hot.
Yeah.
And their daughter Ainsley in the show does her college interview with the counselor, and she is the dumbest thing you will ever hear, and yet the woman's like, it would make me so happy to go in front of a board and tell them that you do not deserve to go to college at all, not just this one but any college, because the girl sits there and tells the counselor that the reason why she wants to be on the cheerleading squad is because the school actually allows cheerleaders to date football players. And she's like, if we want to have the best possible type of baby, then the best thing to do is have someone who's highly athletic and then a cheerleader who's super hot get together. And the woman's just like, yeah, that's not really how it works. And she starts using all these big words, and the girl looks at her and goes, I don't know those words you're using, but it doesn't sound good. And she goes, it's not supposed to. That's hilarious. But then she sits there and goes, but because you're a private walk on and you have like people already saying that you should be here, you get to start in the fall. And she goes, so I got in? And she's like, unfortunately. And you just see the girl like go, I'm going to get you a gift and get you a basket and get you, and then she like leaves, and the mom's like, I knew you'd get in, girl. It's like just hilarious stuff. Anyways.
And last night, I've seen it before, but I want to watch it again. I watched Dear Santa with Jack.
Dude, it's that time of year. You know, like I know the entire month of December, I'm going to start watching I'm going to watch 8-Bit Christmas. I'm going to watch Die Hard. I'm going to watch Christmas Story. I'm going to watch A Christmas Story Christmas. I'm going to watch all of them. I don't know if you know this, but Peter Billingsley from both A Christmas Story and A Christmas Story Christmas is going to be in Durham.
Oh wow.
He's going to be doing a interview thing after watching A Christmas Story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I want to go back and watch. God, what is it with David Harbour when he's the Santa Claus?
Oh. That's Violent Night.
Yes, and so I'm definitely going to watch that. So, top 5. So I was telling somebody like my top 5 Christmas movies favorite Christmas movies at all time. So of course it's got to be A Christmas Story, And then I guess you could tie in A Christmas Story Christmas with that, right? But Christmas Story.
Yeah, I think you have to put them together because A Christmas Story Christmas doesn't work unless you've seen A Christmas Story.
Right at number 2, right behind it has to be National Lampoon's Christmas. What the fuck? Right behind it is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's fair.
3, and that's when it starts. So I have 2 is really wild, and so 3 I had to throw in Jingle All the Way.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I have to watch that every year.
Okay. Turbo Man.
Yep, that's up there. Got Elf, and then you got the Grinch.
Which Grinch?
The Jim Carrey.
Okay, so not the animated one.
Now I didn't really like that one.
Okay. So I don't have a specific order that I'll put. I do say A Christmas Story is my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, that's not an order. Christmas Story is my favorite, but that's
it's either Christmas Story or Christmas Vacation every year. Like is the favorite.
Yep.
After those 2, Die Hard is there for me. Gremlins is up there for me. Yeah, a lot of people don't remember Gremlins actually is a Christmas movie. Gremlins 2, not a Christmas movie. I might have even sent you a video this week of Quentin Tarantino talking about how good of a movie Gremlins 2 is. By the way, it is not a good movie. It is absolutely garbage.
I don't think you sent it to me.
Okay. I might have to look it up. I might have sent it to some of my comic book buddies. So yeah, I like both of those. I really do like 8-Bit Christmas. Did you watch that one? It's the one where Neil Patrick Harris is the dad sitting there explaining how he got how like all Christmas season he was trying to get a Nintendo with his friends.
Yes.
So I really like that one. Violent Night, I would probably say is one of my top 5. And by the way, is the spiritual reason why I wrote Die Hard.
Yep.
Like I literally sat there and one day I was talking to you going, why haven't they done any of this with the Easter Bunny? So that's why I wrote that. So anybody out in the audience, if you've never read Die Hard, I think you now have another reason why, because you'll be watching Violent Night this year. You know what's a surprisingly good Christmas movie that shouldn't be? Is Fat Man with Mel Gibson, where he plays Santa Claus.
Yes.
And then Walton Goggins plays the hitman that gets hired by the kid to kill him.
Yes. It's like on a farm or something, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And what I thought was hilarious about that is with all the stuff in terms of anti-Semitic and racist, everything that Mel Gibson has said in his life, the fact that Mrs. Claus was a black
lady, yeah,
I thought was great. And it wasn't like a Halle Berry black woman. It was like a stereotypical, like just as fat as the fat man's gonna be kind of thing, right? But I loved, but that movie's so much better than it has any right to be. I almost would like them to do a sequel where another hitman goes after Santa Claus again. The whole fact that like Santa Claus has the distribution network to take on like the U.S. Army.
Yeah, it was Marianne Jean Baptiste who was in. She was in what show? Criminal Minds. What's it? Criminal Minds?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah. But yes, but again, that movie was so much better than it had any right to be. So and I literally just turned it on like I was doing my every day I watch a Christmas movie, kind of like during Halloween time. Every night I try to watch a horror film.
That's what I've been trying to do.
I literally do that with the Christmas movies as well, and then you start running out of them. So it's like,
I refuse to watch. So it's weird, right? I have to watch A Christmas Story on Christmas Day, and I've got the DVD because I don't like watching it on TBS because they cut shit out. I have to watch it, and I have the Christmas Story. The sequel is on whatever was it when did it come out?
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I've got it saved, so I can go and watch that too. So yeah.
And what people don't understand, and I know that we're probably even a week early to be sitting here talking about Christmas movies at this point, but what people don't understand is like when they watch A Christmas Story Christmas, they sit there and they go, well, that movie's not very good, right?
But you gotta watch A Christmas Story first.
Well, you don't even have to watch it first. And that's what I love about it, is you can just watch them back to back over and over again, and it's cyclical because
Yeah.
because A Christmas Story is what Ralphie writes about in A Christmas Story Christmas.
Yeah.
So like if you time it just right, you could sit there and go, okay, this is where A Christmas Story Christmas is actually the retelling of A Christmas Story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that they actually got the same
was genius.
actors for the roles,
Except I think the mom was different.
I do think the mom was well. I think the mom passed away.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously
You know
the
the
dad
dad
passed
passed
away.
away.
The old man passed away.
But they had all the main
Farkas.
characters were the same.
Yeah, Flick, Farkas, all of them. So
Even
Randy, even though Randy only shows up for like 8 seconds.
I think it was more than 8 seconds.
It was, but you know what I mean. Like he shows up for, and it's like you get up to go to the bathroom and you miss his scene. So, but no, I love Christmas movies just like I love horror movies. It's funny because a lot of people don't realize that the joy you get out of something like a Christmas movie or just a funny movie, like you were talking about Bad Santa, is the same endorphins that actually fire off as when you watch a horror movie and you get scared by it.
Yep.
So anyways, I think we are now ready to start talking about pro wrestling. If you are ready for it, sir.
I'm so used to Barrett or
I know we haven't gotten any comments. We've got people chiming in with their thumbs ups and stuff, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the things going on. Congratulations to Torrie Wilson and her husband for welcoming in a baby this week.
Lucky bastard.
It's weird too because I mean she's been posting a lot on social media, making it look like she's still super fit right now. And I don't think any of it's current because obviously if she just welcomed in a baby, it's not going to be current.
Some people don't gain baby weight.
They all gain some, dude.
I've known women who don't. They look the fucking same, and they drop a baby and they don't look like they gave birth.
But congratulations to them for bringing in a brand new baby. I want to give an update on the Tegan Knox walking out of AEW. She, as well as her tag team partner, put out a statement saying that when they were backstage talking to their agent for the match, they basically said that the match wouldn't enhance what they're doing. It wouldn't make them into a better team by them being in a 3-minute squash match. So they asked to be removed from the match before leaving the backstage area, and the match was ended up given to someone else. Thoughts?
They had the boo-boo face. They didn't want to lose 2 in a row because their heads are, especially Tegan. I guess she thought because she came from WWE, I guarantee thought she should have been in a bigger spot, and losing and not being able to come in and win right away. I think it's bullshit. I think she had a problem with it. I think now they're trying to save face.
I kind of agree, especially when you take into account that AEW allows you to take outside bookings. If they're not going to actually put you on their card, you can take jobs elsewhere. And if it sounds like you're going to have boo-boo face, like you said, which I don't know if you saw the podcast where Triple H was talking about boo-boo face specifically, but he actually called it boo-boo face too, which I thought was great. Yeah, it's one of those things where you might not be able to save face, right? Like if you're sitting there walking out from the curtain going, everybody knows you're going to lose, So I think you're right. I think that this is one of those moments where like they were trying to save face. She obviously thinks she's a bigger name than she is. She barely even made it to the main roster in the WWE. So like it's to me, and the tag team partner I think is sitting there just following along, not even necessarily like having a say in what's going on with it, because they got shoved together in AEW, and it's like, well, now my partner doesn't want to go out. I'm not going to go out by myself,
Mhm.
right? So,
Mm.
so I think that girl's in an even worse spot because she basically, she got paired up with somebody who's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Take the lesson from Speedball. Just go out there and do the job.
I kind of think Speedball knew going in that he was not going to. He was going to be a slightly enhancement talent, but I think he should have stayed with TNA where he was.
I mean, or I still wonder whether or not he would have been a bigger draw in NXT at this point. Like, and it's tough to say, but he still would have been used on TNA if he had gone to NXT.
I think Josh Alexander would have been used more.
Well, I think Josh Alexander would have gotten the Ethan Page treatment. I think he would have been like shows up one day and all of a sudden he's the NXT champion 60 days later.
I can see that too.
So, all right. So there's that. Now, I think you were right. I don't think it was the same week, but Matt Cardona, and I know we're going to talk about Zack Ryder showing up on WWE.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
But Zack Ryder returns to SmackDown this week.
I think that was a mistake for him to come back as Zack Ryder. I get that WWE owns the Zack Ryder, but it's kind of like what Cody and Drew did. They went out, they left, and became bigger. When Zack left, he was Drew
wasn't Drew McIntyre. He was Drew Galloway.
Yeah, true. But I think still that Zack Ryder, like I said, when he left, he was like the internet champion. He was a jobber. He was a joke, right? He went off and became a badass. So if he'd have come back, I understand they own the name Zack Ryder, but that Matt Cardona persona, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But he came back with the same goofy ass persona he had when he left, and I think it's going to hurt him. You understand what I'm saying? I understand keeping the name, but at least let him keep the persona he built as being a badass when he left.
So everything you're saying makes a shit ton of sense, except for one thing. He lost the match when he came back.
Yeah.
So it allows Matt Cardona to still be that badass. And it even allows Matt Cardona on the indie scene to be able to do a couple things because there's one really good thing that came of this for him. But and I'll tell you in a second in case you didn't hear it. But him coming back as Zack Ryder allows him to still be Zack Ryder. Also, it got the entire internet talking about wanting an LA Knight Zack Ryder tag team called Knight Rider, which I'd be okay with, but I wouldn't really want it because I do want to see LA Knight actually become more than, like secondary champion material. But the thing that it actually did give Cardona, because he signed a deal not to be an active wrestler on WWE, but for his merchandise as Zack Ryder.
Wait, what?
So WWE signed a deal with him this week that allows them to sell Zack Ryder merchandise again.
But he's not signed as a talent. See, I figured he was coming in because of Chelsea,
So he is not signed to be a regular talent on WWE. He can still come in through the TNA deal, right? But they signed him for a one match thing, a one night, one off kind of thing there. But the really interesting thing about it is that he signed a deal so that they can continue, so they can start selling merchandise again. Now, in a WWE world, what were we talking about on the drive down to Greensboro last week? We were talking about how heels a lot of times don't sell as much merchandise, so they end up getting let go or whatever because they're like, you're not selling merch. We need you to sell merch. Well, here you have a guy who doesn't even work for the company that can now sell merch with the company to determine whether or not there really is space for Zack Ryder in the WWE universe.
Does he get any?
Oh yeah,
off of that?
Oh yeah.
Even though he's not signed with the company.
Yep. So it's like a once in a lifetime deal because he's still selling Matt Cardona gear.
Yeah, right. Good on him.
So again, it did allow for something good to come out of the whole deal.
Okay.
Uh,
Another signee. It was official, and we've been talking about it, and we thought he is secretly signed, but it came out. Joe Hendry has signed a deal. He's under contract with WWE now.
yes, Joe Hendry has. There's also rumor that Mike Santana has signed a contract with WWE behind the scenes. Don't know about.
He lost his title to fucking Kazarian.
Hey, Kazarian is a TNA original.
Yeah.
And for the dude being in his 40s, that dude is fit.
Yeah. And again, I think they must be doing it across the board. WWE does it. AEW does it. Now TNA is doing it. Why not build up a younger talent? Why are we going to put it on? You know what I mean?
Well, I think so. I think TNA does a better job than either of the other two companies for the most part. But where a lot of their popularity has come from has been those classic WWE people that are there right now. You know, I mean, Ziggler goes in as Nick Nemeth. You've got Tommy Dreamer still wrestling with them. Bully Ray and Devon come in as Team 3D. The Hardy Boys are back.
Same shit as AEW pulls, right? And again,
well, I'm not disagreeing.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying, and they're falling into the trap that I talk about all the time. When these older talents are gone, if you don't have any younger talents there ready, which they're not, they're relying on these old WWE, which I get because they're names. People come because they recognize the names. What happens when the names disappear or retire?
Well, there's some stuff to be said about some of it. Like Nick Nemeth going to TNA and becoming TNA World Champion. Nick Nemeth should have been a more than two-time WWE World Champion, right? Mm-hmm. Like he really was not just the bump machine like we always call him, but and damn it, how do they not have merchandise that says Nick Nemeth bump machine?
Because they have to give us money because we came up with that shit.
That's true. And we'd be able to prove that one. But I mean, literally, how did he only become a two-time WWE champion? I know one time was because he got injured like immediately after winning it. But the dude was at the top of the business for years and only a two-time world champion. You know? So like him getting a run in TNA was really kind of what started making TNA really take that skyrocket up to where they're selling out 6,000 person arenas now.
Yeah.
You know? So that one worked out really well. Your guys like Mike Santana, who are probably what, mid-30s? I mean, you can look it up, but probably mid-30s.
What's Mike Santana?
You know, and even Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's probably mid-30s. So seeing those guys, they're not young, but they're not super well known either. So giving them a run and giving them the rub, it's kind of the same thing. But you know, like
so Santana is 34.
So right in mid 30s. And Joe Hendry's probably right around the same. Although Joe Hendry's, both of them have been wrestling for 15 years.
Joe Hendry is 37.
Kind of what I expected, actually. I didn't expect him to be in his 40s, but he looks older than 35, if you will. So that one fits right in there too. But you know, Tommy Dreamer's 53, 54. And he's still wrestling with them on a regular basis. So I mean, it is what it is. You but then you also have what's his name? Leon Slater, who's 21 years old. You know, and at some point he's going to be 54.
Yep.
But Leon Slater is going to be TNA World Champion probably before his contract comes up and he goes to WWE.
Yep, Slater is 21. Yep.
Yeah. Him and Javon Evans are both 21. So all right, let's jump into our weekly because because one of the things I have on here is what to expect from John Cena's last 3 appearances, one of them which is tonight. But I wanna break that down after we get through like what we saw this week on Monday Night Raw. So Tino, I'm pulling up the results right now. Your lineup for the night was a John Cena appearance, a CM Punk appearance. The last time is now tournament between Damian Priest and Rusev. Sheamus versus Shinsuke. That just sounded like too much alliteration there. Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez, and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Asuka and Kairi Sane for the women's tag team championships. So the show starts out with Triple H introducing John Cena in Boston, which means I don't think that you can use the Triple H introducing Cena the rest of his time because you've now used that one. You can use Shawn Michaels, you can use The Undertaker, you can use Stephanie.
And I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet. What the fuck why did Triple H have to be in the ring? It's like, why do you have to be in the middle of everything, dude? You just give John Cena his time. You don't have to be, look at me.
But hold on. This would have been the same spot that Vince McMahon would have had the no chance in hell. He'd have walked out with that strut, and then he would have introduced the greatest of all time.
They need to do all that.
But they would have. And by the way, they would do it because
introduce him, then get your ass out. Why do you still?
Yeah, I did find it weird that he stayed in the ring. Also, I found it weird because, folks, what ended up happening here was Dominic Mysterio interrupted in John Cena's hometown and called Triple H Hunter. Didn't call him Triple H, didn't call him Mr. Levesque, didn't call him boss, called him Hunter. Which I'm not saying is a sign of disrespect or whatever. It's probably what he calls him backstage. But looked a little disrespectful from the 28-year-old sitting there saying that to the boss. Now, granted, they were really pushing the Dom as a heel moment, right? And what did we get, Tino?
We got an impromptu Intercontinental title match between Cena and Dominic, which was right now, give me a referee.
Yeah. Dominic did not look like he was ready to wrestle. He did have his gear on, but he had all of the other shit on with him too.
So here's the thing, and again, I've seen it on the internet, and I kind of agree with it. So when
What's up, Mr. Helios?
So when Cena was losing, right? You're like, oh, they're doing Cena dirty. They're doing Cena dirty. Now Cena won. Oh, he shouldn't have won. He's holding down Dominic. He's burying Dominic. Make up your mind.
You know, the one thing that I hadn't heard anybody talking about was whether or not Dominic would get a rematch tonight. And obviously we're 10 minutes away from them going live. We haven't seen anything. We don't know what's going on with it. We won't talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw till next week.
I don't think so, because Cena's he's got it for 3 weeks. So let the man hold it for the 3 weeks until he's gone. What, 2? Is it 3 weeks?
I want to say you're right. 3 weeks,
3 or 4 weeks, somewhere in there. Let the man just carry it.
And you know what? Now is as good a time as any to sit here and bring this one up. What to expect from his final 3 appearances, Tino? Tonight he's in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, for the last time.
Oh, I know what I got a feeling I know what they're gonna do for tonight.
Well, please.
Fucking Brock Lesnar. He's got to finish that off. They're in Madison Square Gardens, right? That's one of the biggest. That's their home away from home. That's one of the biggest things. I think Lesnar comes out and they fight. I don't know if they fight for that title, but I think Cena gets his win finally from Lesnar tonight, and that's 1 down.
So I think that they're going to go a completely different direction and give us a John Cena versus someone he's never faced before opponent. And I know that that's what the tournament is set up for his final match. But I think he's going to come out, and I literally think that they might do something like pull a swerve on all of us by giving us John Cena, Joe Hendry, because Joe Hendry's been asking for it all year.
I think he's going to be the mystery opponent tonight.
And that very well could be the case too. Match like his Survivor Series appearance, however, I think he's going to be part of the War Games match. And I think Brock Lesnar is going to be number 5 on the Vision side. So I think you're going to get that Brock Lesnar versus John Cena moment there rather than here.
I still think it should be one-on-one.
And you know what I think they ought to do with the War Games concept, because obviously we went to Blood and Guts last week, which is pretty much the same damn match. I think what they ought to do is they ought to do it with old school Survivor Series rules, where you're 5-on-5. After it's 5-on-5, you have to eliminate everybody.
They're doing that on Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, they're doing that match style on Friday Night SmackDown, but I'd love to see them do it in War Games.
Yeah.
They're not going to. They're not going to, but I would have loved to have seen it that way. And then the final appearance obviously is going to be whoever wins the tournament tonight. Gunther, I would think, has a easy match against Javon Evans, unfortunately for Javon Evans.
What if we get swerved and Javon squeaks one out? I know it's not going to happen, but what if?
It's a great question.
And what if he ends up going all the way and they fucking swerve us and he beats Cena for that Intercontinental belt?
I mean, if they think that bouncy is the way to go, then I see no reason why it couldn't happen. I unfortunately feel like these last 30 appearances of Cena this year, now they feel wasted, because there are so many things that we're talking about now where these other people are in a tournament, and yet we had all these opportunities for matches with John Cena that we didn't get. You know, and I'm going to I'll talk about it when we talk about SmackDown specifically, but I don't think the right guy went over in one of those matches.
Okay.
But we'll get to that. So the final appearance of John Cena obviously is his final match. I'm hoping that Saturday night's main event is done as a this is your career, and they bring back no, nothing like that. But they bring back, because they've already done a John Cena This Is Your Life, and it was a dud compared to the Rock version of it, because Mick Foley tried to do it again and it just didn't go over well. I think that if you have some of his best opponents show up and actually shake his hand backstage and have a word with him or whatever, I think that'd be awesome. So like have Kurt Angle come out and shake his hand, that kind of thing. Or have Kurt Angle in the front row because he was his first match.
Undertaker. Do you think, now we know that Edge probably won't be there to wrestle him, but do you think they could have Edge maybe even if he does like a video kind of message to him? Do you think Tony Khan would let him do that?
So we always talk about this, and you know as well as I do that like there is bad blood between the two, and unfortunately now we're almost at an hour already, so I'm going to try to hurry up a little bit. We know that there's bad blood between the two. There always is, but anytime that A&E has contacted AEW, they've been able to get Bryan Danielson or The Big Show or Chris Jericho or whomever they wanted to talk to actually talk to them about stuff. It depends on what Tony Khan would want in return. If Tony Khan wants something crazy in return, like he wants them to mention that it's AEW wrestler Adam Copeland, they're going to say no. You know, if they allow him to come on the screen wearing maybe one of his merch shirts that says AEW, and he still comes on as Edge, then possibly. Like WWE's not against that. They understand that Edge was one of his best opponents.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, otherwise, who knows? I mean, I still remember that Over the Limit match where the Big Show was his opponent, and you know, we got one of the best title matches of all time when we got CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, but then we got John Cena versus John Laurinaitis in a match that never should have happened. right?
They might be. They'll bring Johnny Ace back out too.
They should bring him out with the skateboard.
Oh shit! He never. Shut up.
All right, let's get back to Monday Night Raw, because some other cool stuff happened on Monday Night Raw. Like, for example, the match. By the way, John Cena ends up winning that match, and he overacted the win. He looked so surprised. He should have just. I know, and it's so weird because when he does Peacemaker, he's not a bad actor, but here he's like, oh.
Well, they've got to, and not, they've got to be able so people in the top row can see everything. That's why they have to over exaggerate things. They say that all the time.
But he beats Dominic. Dominic takes it kind of gracefully too. He gets out of the ring and leaves. John Cena gets his moment of shine there. The match, that Bleacher Report gave the match an A. I thought the match was kind of short, but I know that you're on time constraints or whatever, and it wasn't a listed match to happen. So adding it in, being a little bit shorter, I guess is okay.
And I think too, remember Cena's, because you could tell he's hurting. It hurts to watch him walk. You know what I'm saying? So
his lean over, his hunch when he's walking. Yeah,
so I'm sure that has something. You know what I mean? He can't go like he used to for those, and they probably don't want to. They probably want to save those longer matches with Cena for PLEs. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do, but it was in front of his home crowd.
Yeah.
And and his match against Sammy was a 30-minute match. It just didn't end.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they chose to do it that way.
Well, I think that they went, okay, we've got 20 minutes to do this. They went a little bit long during the segment, so then the match happens and you get a 10-minute match. You know what I mean? Like they're obviously, and I don't understand why they do that when it comes to Netflix. They don't have a hard out. They can go 2 hours 37. They don't have to go 2:30.
I don't know.
It kind of irritates me when all of a sudden you hear, oh, this match got cut because of blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what the fuck? It's Netflix. Like, that was the reason you got $5 billion.
That's true.
So anyways, last time is now Damian Priest versus Rusev. Rusev looks like a fucking monster right now, dude. Like, I would not be surprised if you see him as a world champion before the end of 2026.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? It's one of those moments where it's like, fuck AEW in that moment.
I think he's going to win. I'm saying it right now. I think he wins the Money in the Bank.
Well, remember, Money in the Bank got pushed till after SummerSlam next year.
Well, fuck. Maybe.
Now, he might win King of the Ring, and then he gets the shot at SummerSlam.
I know he's not going to win the Rumble. You think he'll win the the Elimination Chamber? He won't.
I'd have to know who the champions are going to be at that moment. But a Rusev versus Cody Rhodes gives a really good Rocky IV vibe.
Yeah, it's too predictable. Which they don't give a shit. We're predicting that fucking Javon's going to lose tonight. They're predictable. So yeah, why not?
I mean, something's got to change, right? They gotta start making us think that, like, we can't predict what's happening. And unfortunately, with both companies, like, and I would say even more so right now, I've been saying it with AEW, it's like Darby Allin's never going to beat Jon Moxley. Like, but it's one of those things where, like, we knew if John Cena faced Dominic Mysterio was losing the Intercontinental title. We knew it, So that's me calling out both of the companies for that bullshit. CM Punk gets interrupted by Logan Paul. Wait, no. Sorry. All I know is we end up getting Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Jey Uso, and we get the Vision with Logan Paul. And backstage, we get my favorite moment of the entire night when CM Punk goes, Regal! And Regal just yells, War Games!
Yeah.
Like, he's got the best contract in the entire industry right now. Hey, William, can you come out and War Games? Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
Women's world title match, Stephanie Vaquera versus Raquel Rodriguez. Who wasn't expecting the Nikki Bella heel turn?
And I told you I didn't see it. I think I fell asleep.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, she clocks Stephanie Vaquera. And
I told you my theory on that.
what was your theory again? Tell everybody.
I think Nikki wins that belt because remember before the Liv went out, it's supposed to be Liv and Nikki. I think Nikki somehow wins that belt because Stephanie Vaquera will get it again, right? So I think Nikki wins that belt, and then her and Liv go for it, and Liv takes that belt back, maybe at Rumble.
Well, we've seen that Stephanie Vaquera has been used so much better than Julia on SmackDown. But at the same time, has she been used well? I don't know. You know, this entire like, oh, let's make Nikki Bella your best friend shit, and then all of a sudden she turns on you. Like, are we expecting Liv Morgan to show up as a baby face?
I think when she comes back, she's going to be babyface because she's coming for Roxanne. She's coming for Judgment Day, so that's going to automatically make her babyface. Dom's already getting babyface
Babyface pops. He's getting pops.
So what's going to happen? I think I want to say Judgment Day. Something's going to happen because they're starting to turn on Dom, kind of looking at him sideways. Anyway,
they've been doing that for 8 months.
Listen, to bring the back. Listen, I think they're going to finally corner him in the ring. The women, Liv or Roxanne, are going to get into his face, and then all of a sudden you're going to hear, "Watch me." And then that's where it comes in.
And I think we all agree, although there is rumor that Liv Morgan is backstage tonight. So, again, they just went live.
When are they in San Diego? I think that's when she comes back.
That's Survivor Series.
I think that's when she comes back.
Well,
because
when we talk about the War Games team stuff, they've... You know, like a Liv Morgan being added to the War Games team.
Ooh. I'm sorry. Finish your thought. Finish it.
No, go ahead.
Because Charlotte backed down, right? So they've got to get 2 more people. What if they get 1 more person, and then they're like, well, they don't have anybody until War Games, and that's when she comes in, right? They have like the silhouette, like, ooh, who's going to fill that spot? And it's Liv.
You know what I love that idea. What I hate is that War Games makes you stand in that stupid cage.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the 2 cages, and only 1 person comes out of the cage. And then goes into the double cage.
It is War Games.
And I hate that about War Games. I hate it. Like, by the way, that's one of the things that made this so good. Was while we could almost guarantee who was coming out when they came out, it was still cool to not know who was the next person. Except when you watch the damn Moxley group, because they all have the same fucking music.
No, anyway, it starts out the same, and then they have their own variations of their song.
So, anyways. Next matchup on the night was Shinsuke versus Sheamus.
Shitstain.
No, Shinsuke. Because he's a good guy again. He's not Shitstain.
Okay, yeah, Shinsuke. Okay, Shinsuke. Okay.
And need I say this was a banger?
You need not, because it was.
It was easily since Sheamus came back. Actually, he had those really good matches with Rusev. I'm going to say it was his best match after the Rusev barroom brawl match that they had, or the distillery match, or whatever they fucking called it.
I hated
And
that.
and it, by the way, it was Shinsuke's best match in a long while. Like I don't remember the last time I saw Shinsuke look like he was motivated to be out there. So I was very happy with that.
Fun.
Women's World Tag Team title match: Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair versus Kabuki Warriors. I'm beginning to wonder if Charlotte's injured.
Why?
Well, they removed her from the Survivor Series War Games match.
Top
Right.
five worst
Why would she?
These are the
No.
top five
I don't know.
worst
Shut
geographically
the
placed
fuck
cities
up.
in America. Number 5. These
Shut
are the
up.
top 5 worst
Number
geographically.
5.
These are the top 5 worst.
For real, dude. I know it's a Samsung, but for fuck's sake.
Hit the button.
So anyway,
Starting to miss my apple.
we don't have access to use whatever that was. You can't.
I know. I was like, shut up.
I saw it. I'm beginning to wonder if Charlotte is somewhat injured. I don't know, like maybe limited duty kind of thing, because it really did look like Alexa took the brunt of everything during that match. Obviously, we saw 4 women take them both out, but they lost the titles. And then on Friday, Charlotte sits there and says, I'm out. I just can't be friends with Rhea Ripley. And we know she can't be friends with her.
I don't know. I think that
I could be wrong.
I kind of appreciated that continuity, that kind of, yeah, I can't pretend to be your friend and trust you to be on the same page.
Well, I mean, I guess we can talk about it right now. That moment when they were all in the ring together and you saw both of them hug Kairi Sane, and only Alexa hugs Rhea. And then Charlotte doesn't even like dap her, doesn't shake her hand, nothing. She's just like, she just like walks away and grabs a microphone.
I knew something was up then. I'm like, oh shit.
And I was like, wow, this is like a Tiffy moment. Anyways, this match ends with Lash Legend and Nia Jax getting involved, costing Alexa the match.
She wanted to say Lash LaRue.
I did not say Lash LaRue.
I keep wanting to say Lash LaRue. I keep freaking.
Who's Lash LaRue?
Remember from WCW, the Cajun dude? Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah,
nope. I remember the Kwee-wee.
No, no.
They might have even tag teamed at some point. Anyways,
I want to forget.
So we get the 2 title changes in the same night, which is pretty surprising for WWE. And Rhea Ripley comes out wearing her face mask, and I know that you were like, "Why was she wearing a face mask?" And I was like, "Well, because she broke her nose in Japan.
I forgot
during house shows." So yeah. So that was Monday Night Raw.
I think they lost those belts, and I hate it. But no, it keeps Rhea away from the main title. I think her and Io are going to win those tag belts.
It makes sense, right? It makes sense for it makes sense for even like if they just want to do like what is it? 3 teams, 4 team? How many teams is that? That's 4 teams. So you could actually do a 4-way tag team turmoil match or whatever to try to, figure that one out. And if Sol Ruka was actually healthy right now, you could add Zarya and Sol Ruka to that too, because they were involved in something until Sol went down. Yeah. Zaruka. That's right. Zaruka. So, all right, on NXT, we had El Grande Americano versus Jasper Troy for the Speed Championship. We had Tatum Paxley as the women's champion talking. Josh Briggs versus Tavion Heights. And for the men's NXT Championship, Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. So Tatum Paxley comes out wanting to be a fighting champion.
I'm waiting for Izzy to turn on her and them to kick her out of the culling.
They don't fit.
I think Izzy's she's gonna turn her and I think she's gonna want to take that title from Tatum.
Well, and I feel like they've been playing that up really well right now, where Izzy, every time she's not listed as one of the people that could be competing for it, is angry.
And I don't understand. And I get it's because she's a main roster person. Lyra was all on NXT, rooting her on, talking shit to Izzy, and then Tatum won the belt, and we don't see Lyra anymore.
Well, her and Bailey both just disappeared off TV.
Yeah,
Like Bailey was one of the best things going, and all of a sudden they're just not there.
so yeah.
JC Jane gets a rematch at Gold Rush, which, by the way, is tomorrow night. El Grande Americano versus Jasper Troy. Americano loses, and Jasper Troy becomes the Speed Champion. Bleacher Report gave it a C. What was your opinion of the match?
Yeah, I would have given it a B minus. I mean, it was it was predictable. I figured it was time for Grande to lose because they're going to probably pull him back up to the main roster. Because I got a feeling Gable should be on his way back now.
It's got well, I would think he's getting close, but I don't remember what his injury was, so not sure about that one. But I have a feeling that it's going to end up being Chad Gable's going to show up as El Grande Americano, and he's going to get beat down by the other El Grande Americano because Ludwig Kaiser took that role and has just been
with it.
I mean, he even sings the Mexican national anthem. Like, oh yeah,
he's got big strong boy and bruiserweight with him now. So
yeah. I don't know why they're not called Vente and whatever the other drink that they've got is. But anyways, Thea Hale versus Alba Fire. Alba Fire loses to Thea Hale.
You knew what's going to happen.
I mean,
because
they're pushing the hell out of Thea Hale right now.
Yes, but I'm wondering if they're doing that because they're not going to take those the AAA tag team belts off of Chelsea and Ethan yet.
I don't know, man. Like the whole idea of having Joe Hendry suddenly winning a AAA championship when people still don't really know what his contract status is. We do, but we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Skylar Ray versus Fallon Henley. And I've got to say, Fallon Henley's looking hot. Sorry, she just is. Henley defeats her. Nothing special. Tavion Heights versus Josh Briggs. Once again, I'm going to sit here and say this to you. What the fuck are they doing with Josh Briggs?
I don't know.
The dude has everything that you need to be a superstar in WWE. They pushed him all the way up to the main event in NXT, and now they are pushing him all the way down to where he's losing to an Evolve guy.
You said, fuck you, Joshy.
Like, that's what it feels like. They even cleaned up his look and everything.
He's not an Evolve
He's
guy.
not. He's no quarter catch crew. Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams for the main event.
Was that last man standing, wasn't it?
No.
Was it something like that? Or maybe I'm thinking
was the last man standing match between Saints and Williams. Trick tried to use the kendo stick right away, but Saints managed to avoid his shots and steal it. Despite being put through a wall, Ricky Saints was able to get the victory.
And then, as they showed the
Shockmaster show up?
No, he got speared through that wall. Did you not watch it?
No.
Yeah, he got speared through. He got speared. He was trying to do something to Trick, and Trick moved. And when Ricky went to stand up, Trick speared the fuck out of him. And as the lights he retained the title, and they did a little thing at the bottom, the trademark NXT, blah 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 blah. The lights go out, and Oba's music hits. And then
right. Okay, so I do remember that. Okay, yes. So Obafemi
never showed the lights went out. They did the shadow thing where you just see him standing in the shadow, and then the show ended.
So if I had to guess, Gold Rush Week 2 is going to have a main event of the three of them.
Yeah, but I thought Oba was getting called up. He didn't need to. They don't, unless they're calling Ricky up.
No, it doesn't mean Opa's getting called up, but Opa still deserves his rematch.
Didn't he already have his rematch and he lost?
I don't know, did he?
I don't remember. Anyway, all right.
All right. AEW, we're just going to go ahead and go to this Blood and Guts.
Yeah, because we're almost there. All right. It's only three matches.
It's only three matches. But we do get a 25-minute segment of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and FTR.
That wasn't 25 minutes, was it? I don't think it was 25 minutes.
I'm kidding, but it felt like it took forever. So the show starts with Ric Flair wooing Greensboro, saying that it's Flair country, all that good stuff. Then we get the women's Blood and Guts match, Tino.
Match of the night match. I think that's a match of the year candidate.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Dude, from
the word jump.
From the word jump, I mean, I think I told you, and I went back and watched it again. You knew shit was about to get real when I think it was Sky Blue and Willow started off first. You knew shit was about to get real when Willow took those earrings out and put her hair up. I'm like, oh, they about to go to, and they did. And as soon as they did, it was a hockey fight.
And when you watched it on commentary later, because we were live, so we didn't get commentary, folks. Like that we need to make sure we talk about. There was no commentary. We would hear the in-ring interviews. We didn't even hear the backstage interviews because they cut off the Renee Paquette one.
She was giving the update
on Mark Briscoe. But I do want to point out that while we didn't have commentary there, when you listen to the commentary and you're watching it, and they like all of a sudden, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Taz or if it was Excalibur, but one of them mentioned that when a woman puts her hair in a ponytail, you know shit's about to take off.
It was Brian Danielson. He said it because I know when my wife puts her hair up, I'm in trouble.
That's what it was. And immediately after that, Sky Blue had a crimson wave of blood all over her face.
I think she cut too deep. She cut too deep.
So someone needs to teach her how to blade because I will say this. All night, one of my gripes was that we never got guts. We only got blood, and we got buckets. And I mean buckets of blood, right? I feel like Mercedes Moné was like the one person that didn't bleed.
I thought did she? I thought she.
No,
did.
I think she just got everybody else's blood on her. But all this, this match was 48 minutes long, folks. It was
phenomenal.
It was a disaster in the best possible way. Like it's
a car wreck.
It really was. And when we got to the end, the team that didn't have the advantage won the match.
I like the way they did it, though. I like the way they're beaten.
Well, they gave it story, right? Mina Shirakawa getting beat down by one of the belts that Moné had thrown into the ring, and Toni Storm having to watch as her wife was getting beaten down. Like at some point, she's going to sit there and say, I give up, right? That's just the way it is. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, 48 minutes. Sky Blue probably needed to get a blood transfusion. I saw pictures of Harley Cameron. My favorite thing that Harley Cameron did during this match was she broke out Mini Moné.
And then when Moné took the thing off, she had the brass knuckles on.
She had the brass knuckles underneath it, and she clocked her, and she clocked her in the fucking throat. She didn't clock her in the nose. She didn't clock her in the forehead. She clocked her right in the throat. And I was like, wow. And by the way, folks, yes, I am wearing my AEW merch tonight. I'm going to take it off now just because like my head's starting to sweat. But then right after that, because again, it was a 3-match card, we got Hangman Adam Page in a Falls Count Anywhere match against Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I do want to point out that there was a moment during the women's match where the crowd was screaming meat. And it was when Megan Bain was hitting Chris Statlander. And they were hitting each other.
They were beating
the
fuck out of each other.
They were pounding the fuck out of each other.
And those matches, and I think you have to in matches like that. They were snug. They were snug.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They were as stiff as they possibly could be. They were as stiff as like a 12-year-old boy seeing his first porno.
They were not pulling back those punches or anything. They were laying them in.
There was you could tell who doesn't lay them in, but like Sky Blue was like, cut me open. You know, she was like when Rocky sits there and says, "Cut me, Lou." You know,
what match were we watching? And we were like, we were talking about how JR said that there's no DNA because they had somebody in turnbuckle and he wasn't really hitting. Who was that? What match was that?
I don't remember. But I mean,
that's just going back to you saying you could tell who doesn't really lay it in. They're not really.
The fact is for them saying this was the first ever women's blood and guts match within that first 9-minute period. And sorry for using the word period there because of all the blood. In that first 9 minutes, Sky Blue looking like, and in fact, so I read it online that they said the sky wasn't blue by the end of the match. It was blood red.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think there's a better way to put it. But Tino, I want to point out how many of the women were wearing white.
They all were. Remember, we kept saying that because every time someone would come in white, like, oh, she's getting ready to bleed. She's going to bleed.
They took full advantage of it, and for a first ever time doing a match like that, 100% set the bar for what is to be expected going forward. And I cannot stress that enough. Set the bar. And they set it fucking high.
High as hell.
Like, the fact that nothing was really on the line, nobody gave a fuck. That's how good it was. So Hangman versus Will Hobbs. I missed some of this match when we were watching it live because I got up to go buy my hat and pee. So Tino, walk us through what happened.
I mean, you didn't miss much. It's just from the word go, they were just pretty much beating the fuck out of each other. They were hitting each other with everything they had. I think that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Until they got to I was hoping they would come up to where we were. And so folks, if you're watching, when they went outside the ring and they fought into the crowd, they were 6-7 rows away from us. So we could still say everything, but we still had to stand on our tiptoes. And I think the funny part of that is
for everyone's context, we were exactly where Marina Shafir came out of.
Yes. So she came out to our left.
Yeah, and we were like 4 rows up from there.
So, and that was awesome. So, and that's what we kept looking for them to come out there. Nope, she's the only one. Everybody else came out from over where Will Hobbs fell off the thing.
It must have been the women's locker room versus the men's locker room thing.
Had to be. But I found it funny when Hobbs went through that table and it was the way they made the lights in the arena Blink. I'm like, really? That's what we're doing?
Yeah, the fake explosion and everything else, but it worked. Like when I watched it back, it looked fine.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's pretty much on. It's pretty much what you expected. They beat the shit out of each other.
they really did, and if I can say that it's disappointing that Hangman's having to put himself through all of this for his second title reign, it's kind of disappointing to me because like he's not doing bad, but I still think that his opponent at the next pay-per-view is still ahead of him in terms of who I'd want to see win the match.
Yeah.
So then we get the men's blood and guts match, Tino. And you and I got into a fight in the audience about this one.
And I was wrong. I got so mad and I was wrong.
So the match starts up, and who were the first two in there? I don't even remember. It was it was Wheeler Yuta, and it was
Darby.
And it was Darby.
Yeah.
You're right. And then Orange Cassidy came down, and then someone else for the Death Riders came. It doesn't really matter. I think it was Claudio came down for the Death Riders. And then we got to a point where they call for the third person to come down.
I got so mad.
And Tino literally looked at me and he was like, "You're going to need a ride home."
I didn't say that.
You thought it, though. But it was all of a sudden Mark Briscoe was supposed to be the third member, and Roddy Strong was like, "I'll go out there because someone beat down Mark Briscoe backstage." And then we got to where there were 5 bad guy members in the match, and because we were not able to hear commentary or backstage, we had no idea what the rules got changed to. By the way, first thing I want to say in terms of negativity towards this blood and guts bullshit is that in the women's match, they said 5 minutes, and then every 5 minutes, except when I listened to commentary, it did say every few minutes, except Tino. There were 3 of those people that came down within 45 seconds of each other. It was not every few minutes. It was whenever the fuck Tony Khan got done doing a bump.
No. I think the women's match was better. I think when they got down to the men's match, they realized they were running out of time. Because remember, I looked at the time. I said, "We have to be out of here by 11. I don't think we're going to get a collision." So I knew, and I was looking at the time. I'm like, I think that's why they started speeding it up.
I don't know. It's just it. So we all sat there and we were like, okay, the first extra person came in at 5 minutes, and we were like, okay. Then all of a sudden it was like 3 minutes, and we're like, all right. And then it was like 38 seconds, 34 seconds, 15 seconds. Like it was 2 of them happened right after each other. I mean, it was like instant. And you and I were both like, maybe they just got back from commercial.
Yeah.
But the men's match did the same shit. And by the way, folks, we knew that Dynamite was going to go to at least 10:30, but we didn't know exactly how long it was going to go. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, like, do they know the rules of their own match?
Oh, so you can tell them why I got pissed. So jumped Briscoe, and they sent Roddy out, and I'm like, and then what happened? I think they were like,
you didn't know that Roddy was actually part of the match.
Yes.
So when it was 4 on 5, you were like, no, Roddy Strong is the guy they added to the match. And I said, no, Roddy was always part of the match. And the guy next to you on your other side, who looks like our friend Fubar, turned and goes, yeah, Roddy was always part of the match. And you were like, shut up, man.
No, I didn't tell him to. I was like, no.
He didn't actually do that. But the other guy did actually say, no, he was always part of the match. And then you had to go to your phone and look to see, and you were like, Damn it! And he literally was like, damn it, really? And I'm like, yes! I told, like, we know I don't pay as much attention to all of the AEW programming, but when I know what a card is, I know what a card is, right?
So
then the match starts, even though not all 10 members are in the ring, and I'm like, why is it starting?
Yeah.
And that's where you really got mad. You're like, because he took his place. I'm like, there's only 9 people. And you're sitting there going, no, they're all in there. I was like, no, they're not.
We can laugh about it now, but I was pissed.
Dude, you were so angry. And then finally, Mark Briscoe comes running down to the ring, and they let him in. Oh, he has to use bolt cutters and open the door to get in.
And then he slammed
into the match, and then because he used the bolt cutters, they couldn't lock the door, I guess. Because Darby goes out, and before you know it, Pac and Gabe Kidd sit there and beat the shit out of him.
Dude, when they put him through the flaming table,
and he was still on fire.
What did Jason's dad say that made you pop?
I think he said something like, they're making a barbecue over there.
No, they said, oh, they ought to put the man out. He said something like that. Oh, God.
You know, I just thought about it. They could call it a Darby-Q.
So that he finally, Briscoe finally hit the J driller. After he got smacked in the head hard. I think he really was out on top of that cage for a little bit.
Well, I think both of them were. I think Wheeler Yuta was out on top of the cage. I think Mark Briscoe was out on top of the cage. So we get to the end of the match. The end of the match happens where Darby Allin gets thrown off the top of the entrance ramp through flaming tables, still on fire. They literally have to spin him around and put him out because nobody had a fucking fire extinguisher.
Can we give shout outs to the tables? Because the tables.
Oh, yeah. the MVP of the entire night, the one that wouldn't take a bump, was the tables. These are the strongest. These are like Tony Khan is going to have to invest in a company to start making balsa wood tables because I'm going to tell you right now, these tables would not give, bro. Like, it was what was it? Like 6 of the tables didn't break?
Something like that.
And Tino sits there and says to me, he goes, what the fuck's up with the tables? And I said, they don't say Slim Jim. That's all I said about it.
I'm like,
and he was like, oh, it's not even funny. And I'm like, well, at least those tables break.
I was like, holy shit.
Like, it was, I mean,
funny. So for on SmackDown, when they pulled the tables out and the table said Slim Jim, it made me think of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. But it was all right.
Ridiculous.
So the end of the match happens when Kyle O'Reilly, who between me and my friend Jason, who got us the tickets for the show, I have said oftentimes that Kyle O'Reilly is never going to amount to the world champion of either AEW or WWE. And the reason why I said it was because, well, and his current personality is just not world champion material. Like maybe Ring of Honor, but not AEW, right? And so the end of the match happens with Kyle O'Reilly putting Jon Moxley into a submission hold in broken glass. And Jon Moxley taps out. And Tino, here's where I really need your opinion. And I know that we still have SmackDown to do, and we're going to get to it. We're going to do it quick because there's only a couple things that we need to talk about from it. And we already talked about one of them when we talked about Zack Ryder. So in this match, with all of this stuff going on, Darby Allin has been saying for 6 months now he's going to take everything from Jon Moxley. And my only question to you is, does he mean he's going to take every bit of punishment that Jon Moxley is going to lay out for him? Because he hasn't done shit in terms of taking everything away from Jon Moxley. He's done nothing. He's lost all the matches.
But he's beaten. I think he's running the gauntlet because I think he's beat everybody in the Death Riders except for Moxley. So I think
he lost he lost the coffin match. He technically he didn't even win this match. And if this was he was the guy that said we're gonna have blood and guts.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the bookings.
Do you so I want your opinion on the booking here because I know you like to sit there and say that I call out AEW for everything, and you just said yourself you don't understand the booking. So please try to help me.
I don't understand the booking when it comes to Darby Allin. I think for some reason they're trying to push Kyle O'Reilly because it is the second.
I mean, it would seem like it.
He's made Moxley tap, right?
Well, he's made him tap. He's made him get disqualified. He's done all this stuff, but that wasn't the point of Darby Allin sitting there saying he's going to take everything from Moxley.
Yeah, that part I don't get.
It makes no sense. And our buddy Jason loved throwing it in my face that Kyle O'Reilly got the victory.
Well, because you do talk.
Good on him for it because he was right. Kyle O'Reilly got the win. But why? Why wasn't it Darby? Why wasn't it Orange Cassidy, who just came back and has been losing since coming back?
Has he been losing though?
Yeah, he lost his very first match when he came back.
That was once. He's won some sense.
I mean, he's probably won a couple, but I mean, he lost the advantage match to Claudio. And then immediately after losing that, he also had Pac come out. And by the way, if there's ever a person that wants to sit there and claim that there's no steroid testing in WWE versus no steroid testing in AEW, fucking Pac, those fucking shoulders.
He's always had those shoulders. It's kind of like
they're like 3 times the size they used to be.
His hair covered it. No, he's always been thick like that, even when he was Neville.
I mean, but his shoulders look so much bigger than they used to, and you're right. He's always been a 220-pound guy that was just chiseled, right, like a fucking Adonis. But his shoulders have those weird fucking veins in them now too. He's doing something. It might only be available in England. I don't know, and that's why he disappears for 6 months at a time. But it's pretty fucking crazy. Anyways, if you had to grade Blood and Guts, what do you give it?
Because of that women's match. And the men's match was good too. I would give it a A.
I would say it was probably the best Dynamite episode that AEW had put on in years, even though it was only 3 matches. And interestingly enough, it saw a 20% increase in ratings.
Wow.
And I think a 54, I don't quote me on this one, but I think a 50-something% increase in the 18 to whatever 34 demographic. Like their favorite demo. So, all right, real quick, let's run through SmackDown. We already talked about Zack Ryder making his appearance against LA Knight, and LA Knight got the win, which kind of surprised me. I was kind of expecting that LA Knight was going to be an early exit out of this tournament. But we also got, let's see, the opening segment was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, blah 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 blah. Oh, this was the whole War Games moment that we were talking about. So we already kind of went over it. Jey Uso versus The Miz was next up. By the way, Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, said that he's in that War Games match too, because like they need someone that can lose the whole match.
I don't think they're going to lose that match. But
I don't know. Right now, I think that the Vision team actually is set up to win. And Big Jim is the reason why they win that match. I could actually see Big Jim turning on Jay at this point and joining the Vision. But anyways, The Miz loses to Jey Uso. And I want to know your thoughts on it.
Miz didn't need it. Yeah. Miz didn't need it.
Okay. I'll give you that. I won't even argue with you. Ilya Dragunov versus Axiom. They're really trying to make sure that Tommaso Ciampa doesn't get his theme music played. Which, by the way, is still the best theme music in all of WWE.
Without a doubt. I think Ciampa's going to be the one to take that from Dragunov when they finally, you know what I mean? They're holding him back. I think when he finally gets his shot, he's going to be the one to take it off at Dragunov.
I wonder if it's going to be something where like he beats Dragunov, which would be great because you know me, I'm a huge Tommaso Ciampa fan, but he beats Dragunov. And that causes the split between him and Gargano.
I think, I was about to say, I think when he does win that belt, I think that's a face turn for Ciampa.
No, I think it's a face turn for Gargano. I think Ciampa becomes full on heel.
Really? Well, they're already heels. They're already heels.
Well, but I think he becomes like a monster heel from it.
Okay.
The match with Axiom was stellar, by the way. Tommaso Ciampa calling Dragunov a Muppet was awesome. Sami Zayn calls out Solo Sikoa and actually says, hey, by the way, I'm cleared. I can wrestle. And I didn't come out alone.
And then, was it backstage? I forget who it was backstage that was talking. And then they did the whole Bray Wyatt thing. And then you saw Uncle Howdy in the back. Who was that was back there talking?
It was Solo talking and with Nick Aldis, and then afterwards it did the Wyatt 6 thing.
And then when he walked away, if you look, go back and watch it, Uncle Howdy is sitting in the background, like in the shadows, watching everything.
Well, that's because they're leading to that.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be War Games, though.
Well, no, I think it's going to be on SmackDown. I think at SmackDown, when they have the 5-on-5 Classic Survivor Series match, that's going to lead to a big brawl between the Wyatt 6 and them. I love how it says Cardona came out to a remix of his old Zack Ryder theme. Now, I don't know if you saw, but when Chris Van Vliet was actually talking to Zack Ryder / Matt Cardona, he asked him, if you were to come back to WWE, would you be willing to come back as Zack Ryder? And he said, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
And we've already kind of talked about why I think it is ideal, because now he's getting double the merch sales.
Okay.
So we'll leave it at that. Surprisingly to me, LA Knight wins this match, like putting... What the fuck?
I found a thing. That was me doing that. I manually did that. I can make it rain on me too if I want to, apparently. I found all the different... Sorry.
It's okay. Jade Cargill versus B-Fab. Do we even need to talk about it? They gave it a D. Whoa, I like that one. Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed for the Undisputed Championship. Now remember, earlier... hold on. To give that its full effect, go ahead and do it again. There you go. Earlier in the night, Paul Heyman actually said our contract for War Games says any member of our team can show up at any time, blah, 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 blah. And Nick Aldis was like, yeah, whatever, this, that, the other. And during this match, the match ends in disqualification because Drew McIntyre shows up again. And
Well, he's suspended.
And at that point, Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman are both determining who gets redder than my hat. like the amount of red in their face. Actually, it's probably more than the red in my face right now. They yelled, screamed, everything else at each other, and he's like, I get to pick whoever I want. They're allowed to be here. So Drew McIntyre is no longer, I guess, suspended, even though he was suspended less than a week ago at this point. Thoughts?
I think the only thing they saved him, I guess, that supposedly is that contract that Heyman can pick whoever he wanted. So how does that override a suspension, though? I don't understand.
Well, and that's where Heyman, being the great advocate that he is like, anybody I want. And he just kept saying that. Which also makes me think that the fifth member is going to be Brock Lesnar for this team.
Is Logan Paul a member of the Vision?
Part of the Vision? I don't know, and I don't think that it matters. I think Braun Breaker has said I don't trust him, but at this point, it's one of those things where you kind of get through the pay-per-view or PLE, and you determine after that whether or not Logan Paul is actually part of it. Because Logan Paul pretty much just jumped Braun Breaker to what I would think is the number one contender for CM Punk's title. And we know Braun Breaker wants that belt. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You can actually talk. You don't have to just sit there and put up bubbles. Yeah, I love you too, brother. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, Tino. But anyways. Like seriously, it's one of those things where it's like, who?
I don't think, but see, Logan Paul doesn't need the Vision. I think that's the thing.
Actually, I disagree. I think Logan Paul needs the Vision. The Vision doesn't need Logan Paul.
You don't think Logan Paul can get over by himself? He's a heel. He can talk. He can work. I think he doesn't need. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say I don't think he needs.
I think you're opening a can of worms here. I think that the truth is that you're right. He doesn't really need them. But what puts him over the top to be a world title contender would be having the Vision behind him.
But that would mean that he's taken over kind of Seth Rollins. So he's taking over leadership. So when Seth comes back, because we know Seth's coming back as a face. So you think, is he coming back so would that be a perfect opportunity to kind of rub shoulders with Logan Paul to kind of give him the shine, you think?
I don't know. So it's a good question. I think that the best way to answer this is that, again, I think Logan Paul needs the Vision to get a match against CM Punk, but the Vision doesn't need Logan Paul. So I think that the Vision looks at it as a short-term agreement. Partnership, sure. And Logan Paul is wondering whether or not it becomes more.
Got it.
And here's where that really plays out. Is the great thing about it is that, like, Braun Breaker versus Logan Paul, right? like Braun Breaker going, why am I going to sit there and push for you to get a world title chance when I deserve a world title chance? And I think that could actually, it could mean them trying to push Logan Paul as a babyface.
Mm.
And I don't see that ever working, but I don't see it working against Braun Breaker.
Got it.
Like I think we still buy into Braun Breaker as the badass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we still buy into all that. I just don't think that them going, hey, Logan Paul with all these social media hits and everything is necessarily the right guy to try to go, hey, this guy needs to be a good guy. Now, granted, Logan Paul's probably telling everybody I should be a good guy backstage. And Triple H is probably going, yeah, we can try to run it. But every time it happens, he gets to the point where he's clocking somebody with brass knuckles because he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And nobody likes him. Nobody wants to like him. But the question is, who do we dislike more?
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, I guess it's a good problem to have because you're talking two 20-something-year-old guys.
Yeah.
You know, like we earlier tonight, we were complaining about, like, why doesn't anybody push these young guys? Well, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are getting pushed. And Bronson Reed's probably 32, but Braun Breaker is, what, 26?
Is he?
I mean, he's young, dude. Maybe 28, but it's so crazy to even think, like, it's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, whereas Logan Paul is less than 30 as well. So, I mean, like, if I were them, I'd be trying to drag the gravy train on CM Punk's popularity for as long as I can, while knowing that, like, Braun Breaker is the guy that's supposed to beat him. And have Heyman be the guy that sits there and talks it and makes it happen. Except they keep teasing that Heyman isn't 100% with these guys.
What do you think that's about?
I think it's because, like, if I had, dude, I really think it's about, like, if Triple H had his way, Braun Breaker is supposed to be his own mouthpiece. Or it's meant to sit there and make you think that Paul Heyman's willing to turn on him, and then it's going to be, nope, Paul Heyman's all in with this kid. And Paul Heyman backstage, we already know, is all in with Braun Breaker.
Yes.
I mean, like for those of you that might not know this, like, that is a 100% shot, like, no doubt that that's the case. Like, he knows that kid has everything. And he does. He's got to get rid of the spear as his finisher. It can be that diabolical move that sets up a finisher, but he needs a finisher. Like, the spear's gotten boring. Even at 23 miles an hour, it's boring.
I don't know though. I mean, but you're right. Everybody's using it though. You got Roman, you got Jay, you got But what does he use?
Well, I mean, Duke can sit there and do the Frankensteiner, and if they just made you think that it was devastating, the Frankensteiner is what now?
Steiner recliner.
No, that's Rusev. Rusev's got that.
Steiner line.
Nobody uses the clothesline. Ever since JBL, nobody uses the clothesline.
I mean, then I don't think the Frankensteiner would be a finisher. I mean,
no, but I bet he could come up with a brand new variation on it. It's just you got to be careful, like they don't want him hurt.
I mean, the spear is just, I guess, is the easiest thing for him to do. Then you know what I mean?
Well, yes, and the spear is easy. Hell, he could take a brain buster and make it into the most devastating move in pro wrestling if they wanted to sell it as such. Hell, and you know what? Kyle Fletcher has been using the brain buster as his finisher. So I can't even say that that's not necessarily a good move there. But if he were to hold them in a straight vertical position with one arm and then do a brain buster from it, it's pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But I do think that like he needs a different finisher before he is one of the 5 top guys in wrestling. But I hate to say it because I don't ever like to see anybody out with injury, but I love the fact that they are focusing on them. They just can't keep doing the same main events every event.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's it for me, Tino. I'm looking to see if there's anything that I was wanting to say here. Obviously, we're now almost an hour into Monday Night Raw. We haven't watched it. We don't know who Solo Sikoa's opponent is. Please don't tell us in the comments. But Tino, we're at the end of the show, man. What's
cool, me? You can catch me on SC Tino on the Instagram. You can catch us on you can catch me at Tino R. Gray Music on the TikTok. You can catch us, Potsy and Tino, on TikTok, Potsy and Tino on Twitter or X, Potsy and Tino Show on Facebook. You can catch us here each and every week on the Pots and Pans Network. Please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, buy our shit. Thanks to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song that let us use for the first 400 episodes. You can still buy it on iTunes for 99 cents, 99.
And I guess he's giving me a minute here. So Pochak, Rob Pochak on any and all of my socials. You see the Blood and Guts hat. This was exclusive to the Greensboro show, so I'm glad I was able to get one. Wasn't able to get one of the t-shirts. Repping out the Iron Ref, Sean Pittman, my buddy who's a referee, who gave me my referee shirt so that I could referee some matches myself. Other than that, college football is looking pretty fun, and I am done, man. I'm ready to get out of here. We'll be here for episode 433 next week before the holiday. And folks, please bring us your ideas for great holiday movies next week. We'd love to hear them in the comments. And Tino, I got nothing else. You ready?
Later.
Let's play the song. Here we go.
Ready? Noise. Ownership insurance in the Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino show.
Thanks for watching.
Monday night, it's time to go. Turn on the screen with the good time shows. Wrestling life and who knows what. If it's cool or weird, they're talking it up. It's the Potsy and Tino show. Drop the facts and let opinions flow.